The need of the hour is to ensure that these reforms are implemented efficiently so that the anticipated upturn in GDP growth is achieved in as short a time as is possible. Reforms are an ongoing process, and far-reaching change have been made in the macroeconomic and sectoral policies since 1991. In recent years, the government has introduced a series of reforms to improve and sustain the investment climate in the country, as well as to make growth more inclusive. These include liberalization of FDI in multi-brand retail, civil aviation, and some sectors of broadcasting, rationalizing diesel and other petroleum prices, including capping of the subsidized LPG cylinders to consumers, introduction of the direct benefit transfer scheme with Aadhaar, introducing the Competition Commission of India Amendment Bill 2012 in Parliament, reducing the rate of withholding tax to enable low-cost foreign borrowing by Indian companies, legislative measures in the banking sector, paving the way for granting of new bank licenses by the RBI, setting up of the Cabinet Committee on Investment for fast-tracking mega projects of over rupees 1,000 crore, approving the scheme for financial restructuring of state distribution companies, DISCOMs, by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Besides these, other reforms are also being contemplated. The Financial Sector Legislative Reforms Commission that was constituted to examine the laws governing the financial sector submitted its report yesterday, and I have assured all of you that the report will be placed in the public domain in the next few days. The Land Acquisition and Rehabilitation and Resettlement Bill has been cleared by the Cabinet to bring greater clarity, reduce uncertainty, and thereby aid investments. Several fiscal and administrative measures to rein in inflation and steps to reduce the fiscal and current account deficits are also being taken. Here, I would like to emphasize that the two deficits, usually referred to as the twin deficits, are qualitatively different because the financing of these two deficits are through different sources. The fiscal deficit can be financed through internal resources. The current account deficit can be financed only through foreign inflows. And that is why I'm happy to announce a major rationalization of foreign investments in government securities and corporate bonds. As you are aware, and as you will find on page 14 of the brochure that has been circulated to you, the limit for FII investment in G securities and corporate bonds were enhanced by 5 billion each, taking the total limit prescribed for FII investment to US dollars 25 billion in government securities and US dollars 51 billion for corporate bonds. There were a number of subdivisions, and in order to rationalize, it is proposed to merge the existing sublimits and create only two broad categories. One category or one basket will consist of government securities of US dollars 25 billion. This will merge the old government securities and the long-term government securities. Another category, the second basket, will consist of all corporate bonds of US dollars 51 billion. This will merge the US dollar 1 billion for qualified foreign investors, the US dollars 25 billion for FIIs, and US dollars 25 billion for FIIs in long-term infra bonds. Therefore, from effect from 1st of April, there will be two baskets, one of 25 billion US dollars for government securities and one for $51 billion for all corporate bonds.